Carolina here. I'm going to show you my new preset collection. These are called the Evergreen presets, and I'm really excited about these. They work super well on such a great variety of images. So I'm actually going to go through a bunch of images that were shot different locations, different days, different people, just to give you an idea of what these presets can do. So as you can see on the left side, there are 5 different presets. There's rose, warm, amber, and 2 black and whites. And the difference between these plus ones is that these plus ones are made for low light images, so they'll really bring up your shadows and enhance anything that was shot in low light. Right under the presets, you'll see these tools. These are also included when you purchase the presets, and these are totally optional. You don't have to use these if you don't want to. Everything that's included in here is basically just a cheat, quick way of doing things that you could easily do in the develop panel yourself. So there's things like clarity, contrast, grain. This film vibes just brings up the shadows a little more to give that bit of a film edge to your blacks. And these blue and green over here will change the tone of your blues and greens in the image. I'll show you that as we go. So what I'm going to do now is just edit some of these images so that you can really see how these work, how easily they work. So I'm going to start with this one right here. And I'll just flip through so you can see all the different presets and how they would look on this image. See, they all work. These 3 presets up here, the color ones, they're all based on the same initial settings and just have a different tone. So rose obviously is more rose, more pinkish. Warm will really warm up your image. It'll warm up the whole image. And amber is kind of in between, whereas it warms up parts of the image, but not the entire image. So you'll see as we go. So for this image here, I think I'm going to go with warm. And this is the before and after, and that was just 1 click. So for this next image, I'm going to straighten it first. And I'm also going to go with warm. Let's try warm plus. I like that better. You see how it just brought up the shadow areas? So I'm going to go with that one. Here's the before and after. I love what it does with the greens as well. Sorry, before and after. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Love this image, so I'm gonna do rose plus over here, and it's a little dark, so I'm gonna bring up my exposure. So there's your before and after. Here I might try amber. And bring down the highlights just a little. There's your before and after. So this image is clearly very overexposed. So I'm going to start by bringing down my exposure, and I think I'll do warm on this one. Look at the huge difference that made. Okay, so this next image was taken at my daughter's swimming class, so there's no windows in here. This is just a locker room. So I'm going to start by fixing my white balance a little. That's a lot better. And I think I'll do rose in here. I'll do rose plus to bring up the shadows, and I want to bring up the shadows on her eyes even more. So I'm going to go get my brush tool and just brush over her eyes. Maybe a bit of exposure, just a little. So there's the before and after. Let's see, this one maybe warm. I'll go back to my basic panel and bring down my exposure. There's your before and after. This image has a lot of green happening, so I'm going to grab my white balance tool, color picker, and just go on her shirt that was white. And I think I'll go with rose to kind of counteract everything that's happening with the green. Rose plus. Rose plus is perfect here. Can warm it up just a little bit. Before and after. I mean, that's a pretty big transformation. Let's see this next one. I'll go with warm. I'm going to bring down my exposure a little and warm it up. Perfect. Oops. There's the before and after. This one too has got a lot of green happening. I'm going to go with rose. I love that. This is my daughter and I actually. I'm going to grab a radial filter and just darken around us. So all I did was darken this area. Let's see the before and after. Another really big transformation. Let's grab this one. Let's do warm here. And I think I'm going to warm this up as well. There we go. Before and after. This was shot with the lights on. You can tell over here how yellow it is. So I'm going to try to fix the white balance a little bit. That works. And I'll try rose. That looks great. Straighten it. And maybe bring down the reds a little bit. This would also look really, really great as a black and white. Can try black and white 1 or 2. Yep, I'll definitely go with 1. 1 is brighter, obviously, and black and white 2 is a much darker, moodier black and white. So I'm going to go with black and white 1 for this one. There's our before and after. This is from a maternity session. I'm going to try amber on this, maybe amber plus to bring up the shadows. And I don't want to brighten this too much. I'll just do it just a little bit because this is a moody image and I just want to keep that feeling. And I'll warm it up a little bit as well, just a bit. Add a bit of red. Perfect. Before and after. So for this one, I'm going to go with amber. And that's a little bit too bright, so I'm just going to bring my exposure down. And there's the before and after. So I'm going to straighten this. I am a crooked shooter, apparently. I'm going to go, whoops, sorry. I'm going to go with that. I think I'll go with amber again. And I'm going to lower the exposure. Could even do amber plus to bring back a bit of the shadows, but keeping the exposure down. There, I love that. So for this one, I'm going to try rose. And I'm going to bring my exposure up. And I might just bring back those highlights a little bit over here. Just a bit. And bring up the shadows. Oops, I should have clicked new. Okay, shadows on this side. And there's your before and after. This is from the same session. I'll try rose again. And I'll bring my exposure up. And I'll warm it up a little. Before and after. Here's another one with all sorts of green happening. So I'm going to go right to rose. It's already so much better. Love it. I'm going to move on to this one. I think I'll do maybe warm. Oh, I love that. I'd probably straighten this a little too. Just a tiny bit. There's the before and after. I'm going to try rose here. I'm going to go to rose plus actually, and I'm going to bring my exposure down. And then I'm going to use a brush to get rid of some of these highlights. So I really want the focus to just be on mom and the baby, not on her arms and clothes here. And I'll take another brush to bring up the shadows a little bit on mom's eyes. There we go. There's the before and after. This is from that same session. I'm going to go with rose plus. So for this one, I think I'll go with amber. And I'm going to bring my exposure down. I might go to amber plus actually. And warm this up quite a bit. And now I'll tweak my exposure a little bit back up. Add some more warmth. And I'm going to brush off those highlights on her face, on Mom's face a little bit here. There. There's before and after. And this is again from the same session. I'll try amber here. Bring my exposure down and warm this up quite a bit. I'm going to bring the exposure down a little more. I think that's perfect. So just going back to the tools, these over here will change the hues of just the blues in the image. It won't touch anything else, really just affect the blues. And these ones will affect your greens. So you can see how it's changing. See his shirt? So I'm actually going to go with this one, which brings in some yellows into the greens. And I love that. So there's the before and after. I'm going to apply amber here. Maybe I'll do amber plus to bring the shadows up a little. And just up the exposure. And I might even add a little clarity here. Warm it up. There's the before and after. This is that same mom and son. I'll stick with amber. I'll lower my exposure quite a bit and I'll warm it up. So there's the before and after. I'm going to straighten this crooked again. Let's do amber again. Whoops, what did I click on? Okay, there you go. So there's your before and after. Same session, I'm going to go with rose this time. It's okay to mix these because they're really they have the same base, so they go really, really well all together. I'm just going to bring down my exposure a little. I think I'll go with rose plus. Take my exposure down more. There we go. Before and after. This one I'm going to add rose. That's perfect. Before and after. So for this one, I think I will do amber. And I'm going to bring my exposure up. Let's do amber plus. Perfect. Let's try amber again here. There you go. Perfect. One click. I'm going to go with rose for this one, and I think I'm going to add a bit of clarity as well. Maybe warm it up just a touch. Before and after. I think I'll do black and white here. So this is black and white 1 with the shadows up, and black and white 2 with the shadows up. So I think I'll do black and white 2, and then I'll just bring up the shadows only where I want to, on the eyes. Just a bit. And I might bring the exposure down a little. It's a bit bright. So there's the before and after. So this image was really, really underexposed. I'll bring it up a little. And I'll do amber or rose. I think I'll go with rose. This one I'll do warm. I'll do warm plus actually to bring up those shadows and straighten it out. That's it. It's really simple, guys. They work really, really well. There we go. It's maybe a bit too warm. Might go with rose here instead. There's the before and after. This is a pretty bad image. It's crooked, the lights were on, there's all sorts of casts. So I'm going to straighten it out. I'm going to check my white balance. That's better. And I'm going to definitely go with rose here. I'll do rose plus to bring up the shadows on her face. That's a pretty big change from that to that. I might warm it up a little. Just a bit, not too much. And I'm going to stop there. Here, this next one is, this is a more difficult image. I'm going to start with, let's go with amber, amber plus. I'm going to increase my exposure and I'm going to dehaze a little bit and fix my temperature a little. And I'm going to add a radial filter on this as well. And just really, really warm it up. There's the before and after. It's that same sweet little girl. I think I'll go with warm, and I'll probably add some clarity here and bring my temperature up a lot. There. Before and after. This one I'll do rose. Let's bring it up. Might go to warm. There you go. And here's our last image. I'm going to start by bringing my exposure up, and I think I'll use amber on this one. And what I'm going to do here is just try to bring up this area. Let's go to amber plus. Then I'll put a radial filter in here and bring my shadows up a little and invert it so that it's just in this area, just a bit. Then I'll use a brush and get rid of these highlights here, or just take them down a little bit, and on Dad's forehead as well. And I might bring my exposure up a little more. And then I'm just going to lift the shadows around her eyes as well. Oops. And just fix Dad's forehead. And there's the before and after. So that's it, guys. I hope you were able to get a good idea of what these presets can do. If you want to see how your own images look on the presets, you can email me or you can post in the Facebook group, and I can apply these presets to your images for you so that you can get an idea before you purchase. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.